Welcome back to some rubbish content. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Talk about rubbish. Now, this is a video specifically about remote touring. This doesn't apply to crowded areas, doesn't apply to your local beach spot an hour and a half down the road. This is remote touring. It's Canning Stockroad, it's the Kimberley, it's the Simpson Desert, it's you know, you're off grid for a week plus, let's call it like minimum a week. These are some tips and tricks that I think will help you a lot. And the reason I'm classifying this as remote touring is because there's some things in here that you definitely shouldn't do in more populated areas, because if everyone does it, it's not sustainable. This is only sustainable for remote, relatively uninhabited areas. But there are also some tricks in here that you should definitely apply to all camping, I think. So let's get into it. I've been away so many times with people and they finish one night, literally one night, with a full garbage bag. And I don't know how they do it. Well, I do actually. There are a whole bunch of ways they do it, and it drives me insane watching it. Inevitably, I'm the guy with the caravan, so I end up taking everyone's rubbish out, and it's incredible how much rubbish people can create. And I will find myself in that same situation with maybe that much at the end of the trip. Say a weekend, I will literally finish a weekend with maybe that much rubbish. A week, probably that much. Now, how do I do that? Number one, don't buy your bloody bottled water. If you simply cannot deal with water from a tank, go and get yourself some sort of a stainless steel tank, a lined tank, something like that. I mean, if you're terrified of drinking out of plastic, you're drinking out of plastic bottles anyway. So go and get yourself a water bladder or something like that and get your water in bulk. But bringing 1,000, going and buying one of those 24 packs of plastic bottles, as soon as you open it, they roll everywhere. They are a complete waste of plastic. They end up in the bush everywhere. They're crap quality. There's never enough in them. You end up drinking half of one and leaving the rest. Just get a water tank, get a jerry can, get anything else and refill a good quality stainless steel water bottle. It will make your life so much easier. Now your water's free. Anyway, I'll stop ranting on about it. Get yourself a water filter and you can have some really nice tasting water. Like I've got the Womo one in there that'll make great tasting water out of pretty shit tasting water, to be completely honest. That's the Womo Explorer. Very, very cool kit. So that's number one. That is the thing that I see the most of. And it's these plastic bags full of non-crushed bloody water bottles, because you drink 5 of them in a day, 6 of them in a day. So get rid of them. Next, crush your cans. Crush everything that can be crushed. Now, I understand in some states, if you want to get your 10-cent refund back, then you can't crush them. In WA, it's not the case. South Australia, it's not the case. Crush your cans, and if you're on a remote trip, don't worry about the $4 you're going to get back at the end by not crushing your cans. Crush them. Now, the way to crush them, I've got a little trick here. I get anything recyclable, anything crushable, so not glass, anything else, I put in one of these Ocker sacks. Ocker is Outback Cleanups Australia. It's a charity. This is made of offcuts from shade sails. It's completely UV stable. I've had this one for 5 years, 6 years, something like that, ages, and it's still in perfect condition. So these are a rubbish sack. Now what you do, you get all your cans, your tins, tins of baked beans, whatever it is, anything that's crushable, put it in that, put it behind your car, run over the thing. Crushes everything down flat. You take up a fraction of the room. I remember having big things of like nappy formula and things like that. So bulky, crush it. That is where you put all your recyclable stuff. And I do separate my recycling. There's a reason for that. Number one, in WA, we do actually recycle a lot of stuff. I know there's, a million people will say, oh, it all goes in the same bin. Fine, but it's not that hard to just put some things in one bin and some things in another. I have multiple bins. So I keep a recycling bag and I keep a landfill bag. Hardly any stuff goes in the landfill bag, and the recycling bag I find really easy to empty. Also, if you're going through a town, you can often find like a men's shed or something like that. And out the front, they'll have a donations thing. So you can literally donate your cans to that charity and they get $1, $2, whatever, from cashing it all in. I find that I feel better doing that than if that was all covered in food and crap. Next part of that, cardboard. If it is fire season, don't put your cardboard in with your rubbish. Get your cardboard and put it separately. So, oh shit, that's really spiky. That's not a great spot to stand with bare feet. That's a really spiky bush. What I'll do is I'll have my bin bag inside my rubbish bag on the back of the car. I'll just slide any cardboard down the side, or paper, or anything basically that is cardboard based that I can then burn. And so when I finish cooking dinner, throw the cardboard on, burn it all off, gone, done. Now that's part of the, don't do this in super populated areas because it, can get a bit ashy. If you've got a bit of ash on the beach or in the desert, like who cares? It's going to blow away in 2 seconds and it's not going to hurt anyone. Obviously, to make sure it doesn't blow away, make sure it all burns completely. Don't put it on like a smouldering fire. Put it on a good, healthy, big fire and it'll burn up nicely. Speaking of burning things, this is where things get a little bit more controversial and more focused on remote touring. Burn your organics. So food scraps, peels, leftovers that have maybe gone off, you've got a bit of old ham or something like that, burn them. Burn them on a healthy fire. So once you finish cooking, it's not going to hurt anyone, it's not going to let off toxic gas. If you've got some leftover pasta or some leftover whatever, just chuck it on the fire. That big healthy fire that's going to go for another few more hours will take care of that beautifully. Now, if it is the morning and you are not taking it and you don't have a good healthy fire, but you are in the middle of nowhere, really remote, bury it like you would a turd. There's nothing wrong with that. It's organic, it will compost. The thing to make sure that you don't do is don't bury seeds. You don't want to grow random things, but if you've got, again, like a bit of leftover pasta or some old meat or something like that, bury it pretty deep, so you want at least a foot so that animals don't dig it up. There's nothing wrong with that. Same if you're on a super remote beach. If you've got a bit of leftover meat or something that fish are going to eat, and there are lots of fish around, and that you're not going to attract crocodiles and blah, 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 you know what I mean? So like, if I was in Esperance or something, I know there are tons of fish in the ocean, and I've got some off ham, I'll have no problem throwing that in the ocean because I know that some fish will eat that. That is not littering, that is simply passing organic matter to things that are going to eat it. And yeah, you do have to use some common sense here. Don't just go chucking random stuff in the ocean. Put organic matter in the ocean that will be eaten. And if you can't do that, there are a bunch of other ways you can deal with it. So I've got some of these things because they're called KEA outdoor stash bags. I've got big ones, small ones, whatever. I actually use them for the dog food because they're really good for that. Now these have a liner. It can be very easily rinsed out. So you can see I've used it before. And basically you get that home, hose it out and chuck that back in there. That's a great one for your organic waste. Even if it's just to hold it until you can get to a spot where you can dispose of it more easily. So, if you're somewhere popular, you're in a caravan park or at a gorge on the Gibb River Road or something like that, and you're like, oh, I've got a bit of gross leftover food, chuck it in one of these, get to your next spot where you can ditch it responsibly, and wait till then. But yeah, for me, mainly for dog food because I've always got a fire and I can always throw my leftovers on the fire. Now, there's some stuff that just has to go in landfill. It just does. So, your plastic wrappers, your things like that. So there's a bunch of junk out there that you can't do anything about. When you're using a bin bag, use a good one. This is a Glad stand-up bag. It's a gardening bag. It is so thick, and I will probably get 15 camp trips out of this. Again, I'm not putting dirty stuff in here. I'm not putting food scraps. I'm not putting all that crap in it. So I can use the same bag over and over. And I don't care if it's got a little bit of muck in it. It's going to put rubbish in it. But if it's just got plastic wrappers from things, who cares? They're fine. Tip that out into the bin. And one of these will last you trips and trips and trips, and they don't bloody break, and they're UV stable as well. I mean, not completely, but a lot more so than normal bags, so that if you do have to put this out in the sun, those thin yellow bags and stuff, they break down in no time at all. They completely fall apart and all your rubbish falls apart, and it's a nightmare. These things actually hold up well, and they've got a good drawstring. They're about $1 a bag, and for me that is, I pay $1 every time to have a bag that doesn't split. Now, bin bags. I carry 3 different types. So in my 300 series, I don't have a bin bag outside. There's obviously no wheel on the back. So what I do is I carry a Kelmat bag. Why do I carry a Kelmat over a Crash Pod or whatever, one of the other brands of bags? Fully PVC, means it can be hosed out. So I'll use this with a bin liner, with one of those KEA stash bags or whatever you want. This will zip up and it pretty well holds all the smell out of the way. So that is really good. It's what I use in the Delica. It's what I use in the 300 series. This is a great bin bag. This is actually a duffel bag. It's not exactly the shape of the normal bin bag, but I like this shape because I can have different things in different places, and I find it just packs easier than a really tall bin bag. And they're a good Australian made product. I like that. The other one I use, also from Kelmat, as it turns out, is the Anywhere bin. Now, I store this inside that other Kelmat bag. The reason for that is because this doesn't have a zip on it, but it is very cool. So I hang this off my awning, hang it anywhere, or just put it there on the ground. Cool thing about this, Velcro, lid, perfect, absolutely perfect. Again, Ocker sack inside. So I'll keep the Ocker sack, and I can put all my landfill rubbish in that Ocker sack, or I can use one of those Glad bags, either one. And then now in my Prado, I'll take that and chuck it in there. In the caravan, I take it and I chuck it in the wheel bag that's on the back of the caravan, which is exactly the same as this. So these are a PM canvas bag. These are custom made. They're bulletproof. I've had one for 8 years or something. I don't buy anything else. They are just the duck's nuts for storage. Local Perth guy, I don't know what the wait time is at the moment, but yeah, PM Canvas, Nathan and Kel, just lovely people who make incredible products. And they do literally all of my bin bags that are on the outside of my cars and caravan. No, that's actually, no, that is true actually, and I'll show you why. Other one I've got, also from PM Canvas, and this is a slide-on caravan bag. This is a custom designed thing, so they came measured my caravan. It comes this, the right distance down. It's got a bit of sail track that you just rivet in, and that is where I put all my recycling. So I can access that whenever I want at camp. I never have to unpack anything. It's always ready to go. Just unzip under the zip, and it's good to go. Really good Australian-made canvas. On the front here, I have the Wild Touring caravan bags. These are brilliant. That's where I keep my grey water hose and all that kind of stuff. Also actually made by PM Canvas. So they're a mesh on the outside, and inside there is a PVC liner. Great things. So I've got two of them at the front, and I just chuck whatever I want in them. I actually just mainly store stuff in these. I don't use them as rubbish bags, but they obviously work perfectly well as rubbish bags. And that's it. That's the video for this week. Super simple. I just wanted to show you some tricks because I've been camping with so many different people over the years, and I tend to find that me and Ronnie Dahl end up with the least rubbish because we use these tricks. Everyone else seems to end up with huge amounts. The only person I know who goes to more effort than me with separating it all and crushing it and making it small is Bo from Outback Cleanups, who also makes really rubbish content, lots of rubbish content. But I wouldn't say that he ends up with a small amount of rubbish. He literally tows tons of it around. Dragging bins and sinking tins is his job. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, where I'm going to do an update of what's happening with the Prado.